Hello, everybody, and welcome to Don's Loves Ball. Manchester United lose 4-0 to Brighton. At the first half, I mean, can before I even start, actually, before I start, I just need to laugh. I just cannot believe how bad we were today. I mean, I actually can. That's a lie. I can't believe how bad. But to a point where you just start laughing. It's not even. I had a Liverpool fan telling me why are you putting yourself through pain every single week? You've got studies, you've got all of this, but you still watch us. Because I always watch United, but God, man. I mean, it's official. We're this is the worst Premier League team, or the worst Manchester United team in Premier League history. And obviously, the Premier League has been going on for 30 years, not First Division. We can only get 61 points, and our lowest points tally was 64 under David Moyes back in 2014. And we can only get 61 if we beat Palace. That's assuming if we beat Palace, because really we look like we could lose to anyone. I just can't wait for next season. When the second goal went in, I was fuming. Third goal went in, that's when you knew that it's done. And the energy was gone, because from last year when under Oli, when we were getting smashed 4-1 at Watford, 5-0 Liverpool, 2-0 Man City. I'm surprised Chelsea have not beaten us this season. I mean, how have Chelsea not beaten us this season? We've been shit. I mean, Chelsea should have at least beaten us maybe at Stamford Bridge. I can't remember 2 weeks ago when they played at Old Trafford, but certainly Chelsea should have beaten us. I don't know. I understand how Chelsea have not beaten us this season. We've been shit. Leicester, we've been smashed by Leicester. We've just been smashed by, under Rangnick, it's not necessarily a smashing. I think today was the first time Rangnick got smashed, but it is more about, really, let me just level my head quickly, because people are going to start asking me questions and shit, especially once I'm done with this life, because I want to watch Liverpool and Tottenham. I want to actually watch a decent football team. Last week against Brentford, I was happy because the football was good, and yes, we won, but not only that we won, just the football was good. Today, it shows that, you could have Maguire out the team. Maguire was also out the team last week. You could have Rashford out. He has bronchitis. You could have Sancho out. I think he had tonsillitis. You could have, all these players that, Man United fans go on and on about being bad. But then you just start to realize, and I realized this probably when under Oli, And I'll get to Rangnick, because there are some things I want to say that's not related to the game today. But it gets to a point where you realize that it's the squad. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter what happens with managers and stuff, especially this season. We've just seen that we've had a squad that's been under two managers in one season, and they've still played shite. I think I would do FIFA settings on that squad. I would generally sell everyone, but that's not going to happen. I think we're just so bad. This, how? Yo, guys, you should have seen. I wish you guys should have seen me. The third goal. That's when I just started laughing. I just cannot believe. We think, no, it's this player. No, it's this player. This player's the problem. This player's the problem. But really, it's the whole squad. It's everyone, everybody. We're just so bad. And let me just try and find something tactical, because tactical. Does it even matter? Because really, we've been shite. Really, it doesn't matter if the tactics were good or bad. We've been shite this season, and today's game is a reflection of our whole season. If you want to know what, if my kids or anyone would look back and say that, okay, you want a game that would show you the reflection of Manchester United in the season where they were deemed the worst Premier League team, in Manchester United's history, and I mean only the Premier League's been going for 30 years, like I've said, I'll show them that game. I'll show them the Brighton game today. Like, I genuinely thought we were playing Liverpool today. First off, they absolutely dominated us. Like, they were running that game. Like, I swear to God, we did not have any chance in the box at all. We didn't create nothing. We couldn't even get hold of the ball. I think against Brentford, we could do that because Brentford tend to, like, sit back and hit on the break. As far as, not throughout the whole season when they played against United. I'm not really sure about Brentford's philosophy of football, but like when they came to Old Trafford, they sat back and they hit us on the break. And obviously, like players like Juan Mata, Matic, they could thrive off that. That they could hold the ball, they could pass. Today, Brighton are an energetic team, and I'm not gonna come here and say, "Oh, Brighton, how could we lose to Brighton?" Because a knobhead, like even a Pratt could know that Brighton are a good footballing team. Like, if you watch football, you would know what that means. Brighton are a good footballing team. Forget about the results. They beat Arsenal, they beat Tottenham, and I think they beat someone like 3-0. Was it Wolves or something? They are a good footballing team. So, and we're playing away from home. So I was not expecting to fully go gung ho because, look, I know United are shit this season, but man, like, it just shows how low we are. Like, when you think that these players are the problem, we're happy that this player is not playing, and yet we're still shit, So it's the whole squad, and like with Ragnick, like there are still idiots out there that still come to me and say, "Oh, Ragnick's the problem." Only a fucking idiot, and that's like the first time I've sworn this whole match reaction. Only an idiot will tell you that Ragnick is the problem. You cannot let you know what? Clip this, screen record this, whatever you want to do, because this is the part where I actually want to say to people. Ragnick came in November, okay? He's an interim. For me, I think the season was done when we didn't buy anyone in January. We should have bought players in January, or maybe, loan, buy, whatever. Ragnick came in the season. He basically got told to. He didn't get. He couldn't bring his own coaches. Most of the coaches that were there were Ollie's. You've got a squad where, in my opinion, I think it was always toxic. I just think we had a manager who wanted to be everyone's mate, Ollie. He kept everything under the carpet, and look what's happening now in the last 6 months. There's leaks, there's players turning against managers in January, there's dressing room unrest, there's downing tools. You got Ragnick, who you say to Ragnick as an interim manager, come in, get us top four. And I think there's some arrogance within the Manchester United board where they thought they were going to comfortably get top four, but that was never going to happen. You cannot be in a situation where your squad is performing like shit and then you think you're just going to ride it out through to the end of the season. And I remember back in January, a lot of sensible Manchester United fans were saying that you need to get in players, whether if buying a CDM, because that's the biggest problem in our team. Like, by the way, I can't wait until we see. I just can't wait till the day where we stop playing Scott McTominay as a CDM. Like, the obsession of Scott McTominay, like, I know this is a squad problem, but I have to individualize something, because I'm bored of saying this player, because I've said that every match reaction in the last, month now. But, like, let me just individualize it a bit. Like, McTominay, I can't wait till the day where he stops getting picked. Like, I cannot understand how he gets picked for Manchester United week in and week out. There are players who I bet who are probably better than him, and they're not world class, they are better than him, and he starts every single week. He plays under Jose Mourinho, he plays under Ollie. Ollie sees him as his Roy Keane, that's what Ollie said, and under Ragnick he's playing him. I do not understand what obsession there is with Scott McTominay, because he is a bang average player at best. He's bang average, and I don't know how he gets in this team. And first of all, with Ragnick, he came in. Okay, let me finish the Ragnick thing on. Okay, there's the bloody twats of a Man City fan busy laughing at me. Oh, bloody hell! But like, let me finish this Ragnick thing. Okay, he came in the club, right, as an interim. Okay, when you get an interim, you that's basically a club writing off their season, because no ambitious club gets an interim in. Okay, we had Conte there. If we were ambitious, we would have gotten Conte. I'm not saying, look, I didn't want Conte because like I didn't like his style of football, but look, he was the best option at that time. So I thought, okay, fine, let's go get him. But if we're going to get an interim, get Ragnick. But still, we got an interim in, and the worst thing that we did is that we didn't back him, or we didn't provide him with any signings or any loanees in the squad in January, because again, I've said there's some arrogance within the Manchester United board that they thought that we could get through to the end of the season and get top four with what we had, when clearly it was so obvious that this squad is not good enough. You need a few signings. And Ragnick even said in his press conference embargo before the game today that he wanted a signing, and you know he's never gotten that. I think it was a striker that he wanted, and he also wanted a midfielder, but it wasn't mentioned in the embargo. But it just shows that you have a board that undermined him. I mean, he wanted Lingard to go. Lingard wanted to go, and the board said no. They didn't bring him any players. They didn't bring any signings in. No loans, nothing like that. So what do you expect? What do you expect would happen? Like, for me, as soon as that January transfer window closed, I knew the season was done. Like, it was done. There was no ways that we were going to get top four with what we had, because it was so obvious that the squad was not good enough. It needed improvement, and yet it's the board were arrogant to say that no, you can get by with what you had, which was not going to be the case. And now look, it's fucked up our season now. We're in the Conference League or the Europa League. I wouldn't give a shit. We're just not in the Champions League. That's all I know. We should have. We've written off the season. Like that was probably the biggest mistake we've done. And whether getting a CDM in or whether getting in a loan signing in would have helped, because really the biggest issue in our club is the mentality of the players. Because the thing that's also bad is that the squad on paper is very good, but the mentality, you could see that they don't play for the shirt. They just don't give a fuck, you know. Some of them are just here to get a wage and go, you know. So whether if getting in a CDM, which is the biggest problem in our team, but really today it just showed that it's not only the CDM, it's a squad collective issue. Like, it's just flat, you know, just really flat. And by the way, like, you go to Brighton to have a Zubi or to have a weed or bong, bruv. Brighton, bruv, their beach has covered. They don't even have sand on their beach. Like, you go there to get high, and Brighton definitely were high today. High in terms of 4-0. Okay, that was a bad analogy. But really, the only thing that you need to take away from today is that, look, I'm just going to go watch the Tottenham game now, because I just can't wait till the end of the season. I just can't wait for Ten Hag to come. Just can't wait for, you know, and I'm not going to put expectations, because really, we know the enormity of the job. Like, my only expectation I'll put for him is to get a standard football. That's it. Trophies and top four and all this shit, no. Because really, it doesn't. This club is toxic, you know. And as much as I could go on about these players and all that stuff, it's the board and the club that buy these players. You know, it's them. You know, they bought these players, they overpaid them, and now we're stuck with them. You know, and now we have to hope that they do well, because that's the only way out of the situation, or they just run their contracts down like they normally do, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go watch the Liverpool and Tottenham game, because really, yeah, it was an embarrassment today. But yeah.